launch platform.
All personnel, their launch platform.
The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Hello, and hello. Welcome to Leaving Today podcast, episode number 199. Whoa. Thank you so much for joining us. I can't believe it's 199 episodes. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here. Sitting to the right of me is the Trailmaster of Puppets himself, Udi.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Sitting to the left of me via FaceTime is Becky.
Hi.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing fairly decent. We were recording a little out of pocket today, but that's okay.
I'm out of whack.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
For those of you just joining us for the first time, welcome. We are we want to be known as your Disneyland friends you have not met yet. We love to talk about the parks. We love the company most of the time, but mostly we love the parks. I think is how it is. But we will always tell you the truth because we're just those types of folks. For those of you who are not new, welcome home. Today's show is brought to you by you, the listeners. If you'd like to get involved and help support this, we make it pretty simple. Just go to leavingtodaypodcast.com, click on the Patreon link, and the options are there. Also on Instagram at Leaving Today Podcast, we have a link tree with those options as well. We also saw some really cool shirts on TeePublic, and I've been meaning to get some new ones out there. Just real quick, if you could leave us a comment on whatever media platform you have, that would help us out a lot. And I also want to take this time that since we're at episode 199, I'm going to post something on our socials about getting involved in episode 200, but I'll give you the preview now. If you can just record a message on your phone and send it to info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. We will play it on the air and basically just tell us what you think of the show, how you found the show, how you like the show. Maybe you don't like the show or something. It's just something that I want you guys to get involved.
I feel like we need a roasting.
We need a roasting.
At some point.
Who's going to get roasted?
I don't know.
Okay. But yeah, and anyways, listeners, if you'd be so kind as to do that, again, send us, it's super easy to send like a voice memo to info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. Just record it on your phone, save it as a file, and send it email it to that address.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you would like to be on the show, we're going to record it, I believe, July 13th. Do let us know. We'll have you live on the show with us.
Yeah, if we can. Yeah, we'll figure it. We'll get it going.
Yes, for
It'll be
sure.
fun.
Yes. What else? Okay, we're going to talk about, Tiana's Bayou adventure. It opens up next week at Walt Disney World. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We did that on the LTP Lounge, but we haven't done it on the LTP show to begin with, so we're going to do that. And then we have the news. Yeah, does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That sounds good.
I think somewhere along the way we're going to talk about Acolyte because I have some thoughts about that. But I know Becky hasn't seen it yet. Is that correct, Becky?
Or no care.
That's correct.
Or no care to. I will put it this way. You can avoid it. You're fine.
Yeah, from what I've heard, my husband was kind of looking up stuff, and we thought we should avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. But today's opening question is, this is kind of a heavy question. Normally we talk about, hey, where's your favorite place to get a churro or a favorite bathroom or something like that. But I do want your input on something, and because it's been really bothering me for the last week and a half, and I just don't know how to really approach it.
Okay.
But it was in response to a fairly well-known YouTuber that covers Disneyland design theory. And he's got a pretty successful channel. And it's not Fresh Baked, but it's another character that did a review of Tiana's Bayou adventure. And in fact, I sent you the link to that because I wanted your input. But I know you guys didn't watch it. I didn't expect you to.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Anyways, on there, he makes a comment. He's he had always thought that Splash Mountain was problematic to begin with. But he says that when he goes on when he went on Splash Mountain, he always viewed the attraction of how would it feel like to be a young black girl on this attraction,
Okay.
and how that might feel.
Okay.
And his thought was Disney needs to represent every culture and every person in their attractions and theme parks.
Okay.
So that I'm going to put a pin right there in that. And you two can please correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe offer a different view for me to think. But my first thought was, dude, Disney does not have an obligation or responsibility or a place to make sure every culture is represented in their theme parks.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
The only one that I know is It's a Small World, and that's by design.
Correct.
And that's exactly what the message is.
Correct.
So I actually commented on his YouTube channel. I'm like, dude, I go, I love your stuff, but you are completely out of line with your comments. I go, this Disneyland, this is a theme park.
Mm-hmm.
It's for entertainment. You don't need to have every person, every type of person represented. It's not being racist. It's just like, let's just tell a story and get on with your day.
Right.
Okay.
So can I? Are you?
Well, yeah,
you done? 'Cause I'm ready to go.
no. I was expecting like, no, Mark, because and believe me, if you go, well, Mark, maybe if you thought about this and that, I'm 100% open to different views.
Yeah,
I just don't. I do not, in my heart, do not even agree with that comment.
Okay.
It does
Yeah,
not make any
I just-
sense to me.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
where it is the part of saying you're not saying you don't want other cultures and other places represented, but it's not their obligation.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, no. You're right. I welcome other ones, but
So here's the thing that Disney has really done, and this will tie into the Acolyte, because what you're talking about is exactly one of my main issues with the Acolyte and a lot of the Disney product that's been coming out lately. Go ahead.
I listened to your Mando show.
Uh-huh.
I really liked it. It was actually well done.
thank you.
Episode 3.
Oh, the one where we reviewed episode 3?
Because I was really struggling with that episode, and I wanted to hear what your take was.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Okay.
enough about that.
So here's the problem, okay? No, Disney has absolutely zero obligation to cater to every culture in the world. They have zero obligation. Now, if they want to, okay, fine. But here's the problem that has become over and abundant. They think we're stupid. And now let me explain by that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't think that we as people can look at the story, and just because they don't look like us means that we can't connect. You see that? You're too dumb.
Yeah.
Okay? So Brer Rabbit, it's an African folklore. The entire thing represents that culture. The entire top, and it's problematic. Why? Why was it problematic? Because of its ties to Song of the South. Okay. What was problematic about that film? Well, it was done during the time of the Civil War and slavery. Uh-huh. And did you watch the movie? And did you figure out what the main story was about? Well, no, you didn't.
No,
Again,
you didn't.
So when anybody puts a blanket of problematic, I go, okay, what was problematic about it? I'll listen 100%. Like, you give me what you got.
Sure.
So that's the problem. Disney is so this is what it is. Nobody, you're going to tell me that the vast majority of the people, the millions and millions of people that have written both versions of Splash, and even the one that's still over there, and we're in China, right? Is it China?
I think Tokyo.
I
And so,
think
is it Tokyo?
Tokyo.
Is
Okay,
it,
it's
is
Tokyo.
it Hong Kong?
It's not here. That's all I know.
Yeah, it's one of the ones in Asia. I mean,
Yeah.
well, actually, that's the only other parks there are.
Exactly.
But, so,
yeah. Or Europe. Yeah, but yeah, it's
no,
going to be
it
over
is
there.
in Paris. It's either
I
Hong
know
Kong. Okay.
it's Hong Kong or Tokyo. But anyway, but the point is that most people who wrote that had no idea about its quote unquote problematic
No one did.
issue about it, because they're not paying. Again, this is when I get mad, because they think we're dumb, they think we're racist, they think that we view everybody through the lens of color. We do not. I do not. I look at everybody for who they are.
Sure.
So when you look at it, You were absolutely right to call them out. Go like, no. Disney has zero responsibility to show and represent everybody. They do not, because that's not what it's about. It's about taking timeless themes and stories that surpass the shallow thread of color.
Yeah.
And go deeper to humanity and what it is to connect at a human deep level where we can all, doesn't matter
Right.
what if we can understand. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Guys that I work with two younger Mexican guys who are brothers, a big, tall, goofy white kid, me, who's the linchpin because I'm the bilingual guy,
Yeah.
and then my boss, who's another white guy, he's a white guy my age. Watching the two Mexican guys interact with the one white guy. Now, mind you, the language barrier is significant, but they can sit there, laugh, and joke and play because they don't look at it that way.
Right.
They're connecting at a human level, and language is a barrier, but it's not one that you cannot overcome.
Right.
So this is it. So no, anybody who sits there and goes, Disney has a responsibility, no, they don't.
No.
Anyone who sits there and is like, well, I need to see it. Are you this shallow? Or Disney goes, oh no, we need to have this very pinpoint, specific, superficial thing put out there so that you can get it. Because otherwise, you won't get it if we're talking to a deeper level, right? Because you're too stupid. And that's every time I see these things and I hear these things from people like, well, they need to be represented. How are they not? How are they not? That's always my question. Like, okay, so because of their color, but you're going to tell me the human experience can't be?
Right.
People connected with Little Mermaid, Snow White, Peter Pan. We can go on and on and on. Not because of the color of their skin,
Right.
but because of the story. Mm-hmm. And what it means. It's a dark archetype. Pinocchio. I mean, we can go on and on and on.
You've talked about Beauty and the Beast a lot. I mean, you connect with that character.
Yeah. And that's
You're
literally
not a
an
beast.
animal. Yeah, exactly.
It's an animal.
And understanding what a person has to go through and how they feel. Like okay, anybody, man or woman, can connect with Beast, okay? Anyone can. Conversely, men could probably, I don't, but some men out there probably connect with Belle just fine. Okay, but I
Sure.
don't. But the thing is, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
These are timeless stories. I don't need to see a Chilean guy running around going, oh, finally, like, no. Because I look past that. Now, I will only say there are some people out there that want to see that. I have nothing against them. But when you stop, my problem becomes when you stop at that and go, okay, now that that's there, so let me take. So if I had a Chilean guy and then he was a piece of crap, but oh no, he's horribly done, horribly written, and doesn't really serve the story. But as long as he's in there, I'm good. No.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. So
No, when I heard it, I mean, like I said, I like his stuff, but I'm like, dude,
no.
You're going to theme parks, you're going to Disneyland for the wrong reason. If you're going to go on attractions and start looking for issues.
Yeah. You're going to find him.
It seems like a bit of a reach.
Oh, it's totally, it's
me,
a total reach.
And that is a problem with these DEI, the story group and stuff in Disney, because to hammer everything is a nail. And you can dig apart the same thing. What we had a month ago, whatever, Tinkerbell. It's she's too
Right.
Like whatever reason they came up with. I'm like, stop. You're
That's right.
looking. You're
way too many hammers looking for nails.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And to me, it turns into is like, so in order for you to maintain your job, you got to find a problem everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is why the Jungle Cruise got altered.
Yeah.
And
Pirates.
Yep.
yeah, and pirates.
Really?
Yeah.
All
A little different issues.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
Yeah, and I mean, and then the one thing that bugs me, and this is the people that I call pixie dusters, like, well, the reason they have is like, well, the park is always evolving. You're correct.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't make that the reason why to do that.
No.
Because I have so many people like, well, we're going to do this. And I go like, well, why? Why do you want to do that? And then when I hear the response from them, well, why not? I'm like, no. A why not is not an adequate response. So with the redhead, well, we're going to change it. Well, why? Well, why not? No. Why are you? Like the same thing. Okay, well, again, go to Splash. It's problematic. Okay, what was problematic about it? And you sit there. Well, it's a tie to Song of the South. Okay, where in there? When do you see Confederate flags anywhere? Do you see slaves anywhere? Do you see any of no, in fact, I can make the argument that there are salt mines now in the Newport, and that has more direct connection to actual slavery than anything in Splash Mountain. So this is what I'm saying. These people are what I call a midwit. They know just enough to be dangerous.
Sure.
And there's too many of them in the world. They know just enough to be dangerous, and they also think they're super high intelligence. And because we look at them and we argue with them and say no, they look at us like, oh, I feel bad for you. You're too dumb. I'm like, no. I know exactly what you mean. I just disagree with you fully.
I mean, go ahead, Becky.
Well, the other thing is, I know in the first part of that, he mentioned about how he would ride the attraction and try to picture how he would see it if he was a young black girl.
Sure.
And I don't think that that's necessarily fair either, because I don't think that he could ever see it from that perspective.
Thank you.
First of all.
Right.
And when, correct me if I'm wrong, but during even the creation of Song of the South and also into Splash Mountain, we did get perspectives from different people
Yep.
Yeah.
into the actual attraction.
Mhm.
So now what you're saying is you're assuming what somebody else is thinking about something, but you're not listening to what they actually thought about.
Correct.
That's a very good point. And yeah, you're right, Becky. Walt Disney Imagineering did work with NAACP on that to see, hey, are we getting this right? Is there anything that could be problematic?
Yeah.
And no, they signed off on all the stuff. Maybe they did make a few tweaks before the show was installed, but other than that, they worked hand in hand with them.
Yep. And a lot of people don't know that. Again, this is where too many people they look at one thing and they make a mountain of assumptions from a splash mountain of assumptions from one end to the other. And they, for whatever reason, think automatically, oh, I know exactly what they're thinking, what they're doing. I'm like, wait, how? Were you in the room?
No.
Did you have a conversation with them?
Right.
Have you listened to interviews? Have you listened to audio? Have you listened to anything about what they've said? I'm going to bet you dollars to donuts you have not.
Right.
You have not, because we have. We've actually sat there and listened to what they said, and then this is what we did to make this attraction. We're like, they did everything they could to honor that tradition. Honor the Brer Rabbit, honor the African culture as represented.
Sure.
They did everything they could because they wanted to get it right. They did not want it to be some weird insult and have people take it wrong. So end of the day, this is where we get into these midwits who look there and they go like, well, we're going to not only not fully understand and know what happened there, we're going to make huge assumptions.
Yeah.
And then secondly, we're going to sit there and go, well, it's 2024. So anything, looking back at 1984, 1990, well, we've evolved. No, you cannot judge the past on today's lens and today's mores or whatever, Howard, because some of these are stupid. So the constant judging of the past through today's eyes is another problem that these people do.
Yeah.
So they're trying to say
which is everywhere.
It's just everywhere. So you have to stop. That's the epitome of the culture, cancel culture.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. You're a racist. Like, well, hold on a second.
Yeah.
I will hear older people say some things that, if they're in the wrong company, is going to be considered racist. But I know those people, and they're not racist. And it's just a thing. It was different back then. So. Yeah. They're not racist people. They're not trying to be racist, but they're also not afraid to point out the differences.
Sure.
And so this is the problem with all this stuff. So they keep on judging it through the lens of today's modern, and I'm air quoting modern audience, which honestly is a bunch of bullshit, straight up, because there's no modern audience. There is no modern audience. But that's a whole other topic. I'll pull back from that one. That's for 200.
Yeah, sure. But the other thing that I think we're forgetting, and especially these guys that are complaining about this, is that outside the berm, all that exists. That's what we deal with on a daily basis. We see it all the time thrown in our face.
Stop pulling it in.
Inside the berm, we go to escape all the nonsense. All right. We just
Yes.
want to sail with pirates. We just want to go on Thomas Sawyer's Island. We want to have a corn dog. We want to go on jungle cruises and just get ourselves,
Yeah.
immersed in the story.
Yeah.
I don't need the other nonsense added to this.
Yeah.
Right.
At all. I mean, that's what we're trying to avoid. So why are you bringing it into the park?
Yeah.
Just
No.
dude, flip and relax.
Yeah, no, and again, this is the part where they think they're very intelligent and they have to do this because they need to help people out. Like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
Again, I know the story being told. I get the narratives at play in all the attractions that tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
I am intelligent enough to figure that story out. And when it's done well, it's easy.
Okay, Becky, did you want to add something to Udi's rant?
Well, just something that is kind of concerning is when people are looking at something with this sort of lens, you can really look and pick apart every little thing. I mean, you could look at all the princess stories and there could be so many aspects that there's a problem.
Oh, sure.
Why do they need a man? Why did, Belle love somebody who locked her up? Why
Yep.
did Rapunzel live with a mother who locked her away? I mean, there's so many different aspects of things you can look at. And that's kind of a scary thing, taking it back to the reason why we go to Disneyland in the first place is to forget about stuff. I want to forget about what's happening at work. I want to
Yeah.
forget about a problem that somebody else has. I want to forget about bills, but not, so to speak, of where being irresponsible, but just forget about all those life things and feel like a kid again. I want to enjoy time with my family where I'm not thinking about the hardships of the outside world. You're not thinking about a family member with an illness. You're not
right.
thinking about all of these different problems. And to me, looking at things with that sort of lens, you're kind of just bringing that into a place that you love.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. No, again, I mean, when you look at it, and that is the other part of it, is people are too, yeah, they I don't know if it's, they want to continue to, like, maybe, I personally think it's a lot of people trying to feel important. I always look at that. Like, there are too many people out there right now that don't have something better to do. They literally don't have something to look forward to, whether it be work or family or relationships or friends, and they're looking for something. And I know a lot of people are like, well, how do you know? It's just my opinion that if you're going to so wrap yourself up in these kind of superficial things, I think there is something else missing, because there are moments in time where you just need to be like, oh, I don't like that. Okay, cool. And then you move on.
And you move on to the
Holy
next.
smokes, you move on.
Yeah. There's enough variety at both parks
Yeah.
that you can
There
occupy.
is.
I mean, if you don't like princesses, don't go on princess stuff.
I don't.
If you don't want to get wet, don't go on Splash Mountain
Yeah.
or Grizzly River Run.
Right.
You don't like Star Wars, don't go to Galaxy. These are all the things.
Yeah, but if you like architecture and theming, every land has that.
Yeah.
If you like adventure, go on Big Thunder. I mean, there's so much stuff to do.
Yeah.
That this is just so ridiculous. Anyways,
And there is something to appreciate of stuff that you don't typically like.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
right, absolutely, for sure. And I mean, we're gonna talk about Tiana's Bayou Adventure in a second, but or a little bit later. But I'm
so
just
do I need to remember that there's something to appreciate about stuff that you don't
yeah.
like?
But I'm gonna say now that I don't really feel represented on that attraction.
Well,
So I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Off the top of my head.
so we need to burn it to the ground now.
Yes. Are we gonna be? We need to go to change.org.
Yeah, we're gonna start a petition because you don't like it.
Yeah, I don't feel represented.
Well,
at all.
I think, honestly, I think they're gonna give it about 5 years. That whole thing's gonna get redone. But anyway.
I think. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Okay, hey, LTP listeners, if you want to weigh in on this comment, and please do, if you think we are just bat-esque crazy for thinking that, just say, hey, you guys are wrong. What about this and that? Please, I do welcome that. And if you want to come on the show and talk about it,
Yeah.
I would
please.
love to hear if, especially if somebody does have a different perspective, I would love to hear it and love to understand
Yes.
what I'm not understanding.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's well put. I'm not here to argue about it. I just want to
No.
know how I felt, and I felt strong enough that I wanted to bring it up to you guys and say, correct me if I'm wrong, because I want to learn what is going on here. But if you want to have this dialogue continue, please send us a note, DM us, and we will welcome you on the show.
Yeah.
And it'll be civil, and it'll be great, and we will learn something, and maybe we'll go to the park sometime together and have a good time.
You know, the crazy part about it is
What?
we could literally have an hour or two, probably heated debate on on TBA and versus Splash
Yes.
with somebody. But $100 says, at least from my point of view, my part, we're all in the park together. We'd walk, let's go ride it.
Sure.
And we'd have fun in there because at the end of the day, this is the other part of it, that when people do this kind of stuff, they literally take away the ties that bind. They
Yes.
think they're not, but they are. They think, oh, no, that's why. They all need to be represented. It's like, no, these supersede all your superficial nonsense.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the park.
Yeah.
That's what we kind of say. We can argue about this. We can be on opposite ends of the political spectrum, different religions, different races, different language. But when you're in the park, you can go like, point at somebody, like we used to say about Star Wars. No idea. See somebody walking with the Star Wars shirt, you're like, it's like that far away, like, what up?
Wait, what up?
My people. Yeah.
It's the same.
And
It's
actually,
No.
this makes me want to tell you guys a story
Oh.
of something that happened. This was when I was celebrating. I went with my family, and it was my parents, my siblings, my grandpa came, my cousins, and my aunt came. We all went to the park to celebrate the 50th anniversary. And-
you mean of your parents or of the
Oh
park?
no, sorry, of the park. The
Oh,
50th
okay.
Oh,
Disneyland's
I was there.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was there for that.
Yeah, so Disney's 50th. And it was a great time going to Disneyland as a big group. That's something we ended up doing a few times. We loved it. My aunt is a very friendly person. She meets everybody and gets their whole life story.
Sure, I know people like that for sure.
So while we were there, we were waiting for fireworks. And this was back at a time where my mom would wait for the fireworks for like 4 hours while we kind of ran around and did stuff. So it was one of those times, and we were all kind of back and forth. And we actually met a man who was from Japan, and he would bring people from his area and tour the park, tour California. And that was one of the stops was Disneyland, and they would do the tour.
Awesome.
And just waiting out there and talking about experiences of the park and what Disneyland kind of meant to all of us, it's something that binded us to him. And we actually all became Facebook friends, and we're still Facebook friends. And the point that I bring up is we couldn't really be more different or from different cultures and experiencing life different, experiencing the park different, but it was something that brought us all together.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, and I can relate to that growing up because that's what we did as a family. Everybody who came from South America was like, we're going to Disneyland.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the way you brought that up, though, Becky, it makes me think of maybe a future topic, and maybe we should write this down. Is maybe we should discuss touring the parks with a large group of people, because I'm used to going with 2 to 4 to 5, but you're talking like 10 to 15.
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing. So, but I would love to maybe. Yeah, I would love to maybe explore that topic, and maybe just say, hey, here's some advice, or maybe we some sort of like advice or guide to that, because I think that could be interesting to people.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I have definitely done that a time or two.
Okay,
So I hope to talk about it.
I think the most I've gone with is 6, and that was
Okay.
that was hard.
I'm gonna go with 8, I think. Maybe 9.
Okay. But
Yeah, 9. But I would have been a kid when that happened.
But I would love to talk about that, because for me it would be a little it caused a little anxiety. Trying to get people.
Only a little.
I mean, just trying to make sure everyone is happy, and whatever. But anyways, we'll explore that maybe in episode 202 or something. I don't know. Anyway.
That sounds good. I'll write it down right now.
Okay, excellent. All right, so that's going to wrap up our opening question. A little heavy with that, but that's okay. I did want to talk about that because it was weighing on me, and I just wanted to actually invite any listeners again to come on the show and let's talk about it. You're more than welcome. Okay, with that, let's head on over to the news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
Okay. Our crack reporters are at it again. First news item is Doctor Strange Mysteries of the Mystic Arts show is closing at DCA. Another entertainment cut is coming to the Disneyland Resort, as the Doctor Strange Mysteries of the Mystic Arts show in DCA will hold its final performance later this month. I think it's June 30th. Following a rumor report early this week, Disneyland officials confirmed to the Orange County Register that the show would hold its final performance on June 30th. However, per Disneyland Resort operating calendar, June 22nd is the last day with scheduled performances of Doctor Strange Mysteries of the Mystic Arts. No specific reason was given for the closure, but this is the second entertainment offering to be cut in the wake of entertainment cast members unionizing at the resort, following the elimination of performers at Club Pixar. Disneyland Resort Parade and character performers officially unionized with Actors Equity in May 2024 and formed the group dubbed Magic United. About 1,700 individuals are represented. Most other Disneyland Resort cast members and Walt Disney World performers were already unionized. Doctor Strange is performed in the Ancient Sanctum area of Adventures Campus and features Dr. Stephen Strange performing magic tricks for a small audience throughout the day. Other members of the Marvel Universe make an appearance in the show, like Thor or America Chavez. I don't even know who that is.
America. That would be Miss Marvel, I believe.
I don't know. Depending on the current Marvel Studios releases, the show also features integrations with Magic Band Plus. Doctor Strange will still make appearances in the land, but he just won't be doing his own show. And this ties on to the following story, with Disneyland cuts back on entertainment during peak summer season. DCA trims schedules in July for Warriors of Wakanda and Citizens of Buena Vista Street. Okay, yeah, and DCA again has canceled 2 shows and cut back performances on 2 or more Atmosphere Entertainment. As Atmosphere Entertainment continues to shrink at the Anaheim theme park, heading to the busy 4th of July weekend during the peak of summer.
I'll give you 2 guesses as to why, but that will continue.
Let's see. DCA Adventure continually evaluates entertainment offerings and makes adjustments according to Disneyland
Corporate
officials.
League.
So, what is your take on this, folks?
It's twofold. One, anybody checking on Disney stock price as of late?
Well,
It's hovering around 100, I believe, as of 2 days ago.
I thought it was a little bit lower.
It might be a little bit lower.
No, I'm sorry. Last I checked was 101.
Okay, hovering around 100.
But let's see.
Which is 90.
It's 102.
102. Okay, so hovering around 100, which is about almost what is it, like an 80% drop from its highs. But hey, we're not going to go there. But that's one thing. Go ahead. Stock price. What does that tell you? The company isn't doing well. Okay, or could be doing better, and they're not doing as good as they could.
Theme park is kicking butt. Oh, Udi has some inside information.
Not as much as okay. So we've talked about it. Stock price is one, and I don't think as many people are going to the park.
Okay.
Okay. Now, why? And for me, I know this is just what's so anecdotal. But why would you go to the park? I don't want to go to the park the entirety of the summer at all. Half the park is closed down. Why would I go there and pay a premium ticket to get a sub-premium product? We're not doing that, Disney. A lot of people aren't doing that, Disney. A lot of people aren't supporting Disney as a blanket anymore, and that's what they did to themselves. reflective in stock price, overall box office. Even though Inside Out 2 is doing well, good.
Did you see it?
No,
Okay, I kind of want to see it sometime.
I do. I was.
I actually have heard really good things.
I have too,
Yep.
and no, my worry was anxiety. Like, how are they going to portray that? So I was a little bit, and with the track record of Pixar as of late, I was like, uh-oh. But again, I've been hearing nothing but, I mean, almost nothing but positive things. I'm like, good, and I'm happy. I saw the box office for that, and I heard reviews of people, and I'm like, thank you, good, great. Like I always say, when Disney does good and we like it, applaud, clap along, and give them your money. Vote with the money. So part of me is like, let me go help with that, so Disney get the message. More of this, not so much Acolyte kind of thing. You know what I mean? But so that's number one, and then two is the park attendance is going to be down, so they're going to trim. Now this is the danger that they're running into, but this is this is corporate. How do you? Where this was the Chapek plays into this, right? How do you curb cost and then still have the perception of value? Okay?
Yeah.
And this is the problem that Disney's in. Their perception of value is not so blanket and easily maintained anymore.
Right.
It's not. So people are going to look now at Disneyland and go like, it's $150 to get in there. If I want to, peek, and if I want to park hop, and $200. Okay, what do I get? And then you go in there and you start looking. And it's like, and I have to do what? Reserve? Okay, let me jump that hurdle. And then ordering food. Okay, and then parking. Okay, and then okay, and then parking. Then okay. So what do I get to ride? Oh, that's closed, and that's closed, and that's closed, and then wait, and then I want to go, and then that I'm reading that attraction goes down a lot. That attraction goes down a lot. That attraction goes down a lot. Oh, and okay, but we can get past this, right? Okay. I can go, and I have lightning. What's that about? Oh, I have to pay more so that I can try to skip and enjoy my what? So all these things, like, you start putting all of that together, and this is where we're getting. Not enough people are going, and the companies that has the money that they could and have been in the past.
Yeah.
So they have to cut. Now
Right.
they cut this. These are the things that make Disney.
Yeah.
And then you cut it. So then what do you become, Disney? Any other theme park. This is the catch-22 of the whole thing.
This is reason 45 why Udi's was not selected as the Disneyland ambassador for 2024.
I couldn't agree more, though. I think when you cut the entertainment, it saddens me because it does make it any other park. What is setting it apart from Magic Mountain at that point, or Great America like we have here? I mean, or even Universal Studios, but they have a lot of entertainment.
Yep.
Actually, Knott's probably has more than Disneyland right now.
No, probably.
They probably do.
Yeah.
At a lower ticket price.
You talking about the cost of the park, I just got back from a week in Hawaii. The cost wasn't much different than what we were supposed to pay to do a week at Disneyland.
There you go.
I mean, I'm talking within $1,000.
There you go.
Jeez.
There you go.
And
Louise.
that was, enjoying 7 days there.
Yeah. Again, so these are the things that Disney now has a lot of work to do to regain it. They can, mind you, they absolutely can. But there are many, many deep-seated problems within that corporation that is going to make it very difficult. And that's why it's going to require a massive sea change in that corporate entity up high in the C-suites to make it happen.
Well, they're supposed to. Iger said he was going to announce a successor this year.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay. But no, you're right about the perceived value of the park. I was just actually talking to Wendy about that the other day because one of her friends is planning on going, and I just said I don't think I'd go in July.
No.
I mean, normally
No.
I would. I mean, I don't care about the heat,
No.
and normally I would. I think July would be great, but
Yeah.
it's starting July 8th is going to be, or July 8th. They're shutting down basically the whole west side past Tiana's Palace. Is basically from there is everything's going to be blocked off. And that's, I don't know how long that's going to
Yeah.
be, but those ticket prices should be reflective of what.
And they're not.
And they're not.
No, again, there are things that Disney could do.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're going to take a hit in the initial offering. But in my mind, you're like, dude, what are you doing now?
Oh, right.
You're taking a hit to build back.
Build back better.
Yeah, God.
Oh, sorry, that's the wrong show. I'm getting Udi worked up already.
So I want to make a comment right now, but I'm not going to.
What are you talking about?
No, stop.
Okay, sorry.
From
And
their
I'm not- and-
perspective,
And I'm not joking.
no, go ahead.
I'm not joking.
Well, from their perspective, though, I don't understand why they would do Tiana's and that whole area at the same time that Haunted Mansion is down. Why wouldn't they wait on Haunted Mansion, or why wouldn't they wait on Tiana's? I don't understand that.
Okay, there you go. And there is exactly what I was alluding to. In my in my chosen profession, timing, alignment, things that you need to do to get to the end of a project is important. I've been dealing with that for the last month about timing and how it's not quite timing and is not quite adding up because of X, Y, Z. That can happen. But when you look at it and you go like, well, if we wait till the end of summer, okay. Or they go, well, then they could have gone, whoa. But then we have holiday season. Okay, fair. So do it after. Do it February.
For what?
Do it February. Open up TBA.
Yeah.
Okay, do that, and then go and just think. In February, we're going to close it down and we're going to deliver even more. Stage it out, not just here. Let me bulldoze the west side of the park and be like, too bad,
Sure.
too bad.
Well, it just shows the bigger picture of losing sight of the show
Yep.
and keeping that aspect going.
Yep.
Like, they don't have the same values that the company started with.
And people can tell. End of the day,
Right.
we can all tell. And we've been complaining about that aspect right there on this show for years now.
Yeah.
Because we could feel it coming. We could see it in little things just building up and building up and building up like, well, that's a bad show. That's a bad show. That's a bad show.
Right, but I mean, just to be like an advocate for this, and I'm not saying I support any of this, but they do have precedent in doing this. I mean, in 1959, they shut down pretty much all of Tomorrowland to get Matterhorn, Submarine Voyage, and Monorail up and running.
Okay, and how long was it down for?
6 months. Yeah. Right.
For
At least 6 months to
for
get.
3 major attractions.
Yeah. Well, actually, there were 4, but
For 4 major attractions.
Yeah.
What are they shutting down that west side for?
Oh,
A shop and a queue.
One.
a shop, 2 shops,
2 shops and a queue.
and a queue for and ADA compliant
Okay.
elevator system.
Okay.
And it has been, well, it won't open for about a year.
Yeah, it'll
Right?
it'll be closed for a year basically.
So there you go. So, but look at the difference in why.
Right. Okay. No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, I get that, but to me, if anybody tries to draw that equivalent, it is a false equivalency, because we're talking about 4 major attractions closed for 6 months to get them up and running for 2 shops and a queue, and ADA compliance. The ADA compliance is a whole other argument that I won't even get into because I have to deal with that stuff too.
Sure.
But that being said, no, plan this out better. Do not shut down the other end of the park until you have the queue open for Haunted, or whatever. Just wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
So,
And-
or they could have waited. Hold on, just give me 1 second. Or they
Yeah.
could have waited for the remodel of Splash or the reskin and just waited and be like, "You're gonna get it, but we're gonna wait." So we timed this out better. No, but they didn't. This is poor show, and again, not thinking of the consumer, us, and not thinking about it logically.
Yeah.
It's reactive.
Okay.
Well,
Sorry,
it's
go ahead.
it's also a really crappy time then to shut off entertainment at the other park that you could be doing
Sure.
because stuff that you would normally be on is closed down.
Right. And yeah, I mean, even at Disneyland proper, the Golden Horseshoe, it's nothing more than just like a glorified ice cream stand right now.
Yep.
I mean,
Yes, and I know you loved it, right?
well, yeah, no, I mean that is probably one of the more historic buildings in the whole park. I mean, that's where
I
Walt.
loved sitting in there.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, you probably remember this too, Udi, is that when you got to Disneyland, there were two. I mean, this is all like before you can make reservations, but you would run, or your parents would run over to either Blue Bayou to get on the wait list, or to get on the wait list for the Golden Horseshoe Review.
You could do both. Yeah.
They had lunch shows, dinner shows, and that was a thing to do, man.
Yeah.
It was funny, and even as a kid, I didn't want to, I was like, I didn't quite understand it because I wanted to go on rides or attractions, but my mom was like, no, we have to go here and have dinner or lunch and watch this, and I just remember that being a great time, and that stuff. Part of streetmosphere, I guess, is the term, right? Yeah, that stuff needs to be around. I don't understand why it isn't.
Yeah. No, again, it's devaluing the show. It's devaluing the perceived value. Okay, it does everything. So a lot of people would go like, "What's the big deal?" That's what it is. When people talk about Disneyland, and like when we talk about it, we hold it in high reverence.
Yeah,
These are pieces of that puzzle.
yeah,
It's not
100%.
it's not just one thing. It's this and that and that. And so when you begin to remove pieces out of the puzzle, sooner or later you lose picture of what you're trying to assemble there.
Yeah.
So this is what's going on. You can take a puzzle if you want to form the mental picture. Put a puzzle of maybe the map. I know that would work good for Mark. Other people would be like, and that would be work well for me. But of the castle, and you start pulling pieces out. Like, okay, well, we're gonna remove this character interaction. Boom, that one's gone. You start picking these pieces out of what makes that castle image, and sooner or later, the image is completely distorted and it's unrecognizable.
sure.
This is what we're going to. And it begins to look like some hodgepodge mismatch, echo of what it was. And this is where we're going. And this is all due to bad management. That's what's the crazy part about it. This is all due to bad management.
Yeah.
Not pandemic.
No.
Bad management.
Yeah, I mean, basically saying all this could have been mitigated.
100%.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me, and if you want to, because there are people still out there barking about, well, the pandemic. I hear the pandemic come out one more time as an excuse.
Pandemic.
Yeah. Oh no, not as an excuse. Not the word. The word you're going to hear forever. But as an excuse. Well, Disney. No. Or any company for that. The country, a company that goes, well, the pandemic. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, stop. You, Iger and Chapek, I throw shade equally, should have been formulating your plans for how you're going to handle coming out. Okay?
Yeah.
That goes to say for any freaking company, some companies didn't survive because of the oppressive nature of what that went through. Disney is not one of these companies.
No.
Walmart, Target, all these big companies did not have to deal with that or were very lightly touched by this.
Dude.
But this is where I go. So I do not want to hear pandemic. If I hear pandemic out of Bob Iger or any of his acolytes in that company again, I'm going to write a strong worded letter. No, but seriously, though, like enough. And anybody who wants to buy into their narrative, well, we're post-pandemic. Post-pandemic is not a thing anymore, okay? Disney and anybody else who wants to go quote-unquote post-pandemic, stop it. You're not looking forward. You're continuing to look backwards and go like, well, if this... Stop. Be smarter. Be better. Do your job.
Sure.
Do your job.
I wonder what Philander would have to say about all this.
I'm curious. I would think that he's going to be like, oh man, this sucks because.
You think so?
Yeah, because no, cutting all the. Of course, he's going to say that. I would think so because he understands. Like Philander, being for the company for so long, he may be looking at going, well, we understand the dollar point of it, and I'm not negating the fiscal part of this. Okay?
No.
What I'm saying is that Disney, you should have been smarter and tried to avoid this from happening. That's my point. But we're here now, so they have a fiscal response. Like, how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to have to cut here. That's the crap part.
Yeah.
So of course, and Philander knows that park, and he understands what makes that park amazing. Like I'm talking, like his conversation that you guys, if you haven't heard it, go back and listen to it.
Yeah, he'll be back on.
Yeah, the guy's amazing, and he's smart,
Yeah.
and he gets it, He has a different point of perspectives than we do,
Yeah.
but he gets it overall. And so, of course, I would expect him to go like, "This sucks. This is bad."
Well, I don't know. I mean,
It's not good.
yeah.
Cutting entertainment and cutting shows is not good for the park. Period.
Okay.
For a point of it for what makes Disneyland Disneyland. Again, I'm not trying to gate their fiscal, like what we have to do because of money, but this is when I point back, like, do your job, you should have been thinking about this. Do your job, you should have been aware of this. And if you're not, if you cannot provide that anymore, figure out why and then correct it. Again, do your job. That's your job. And if you can't do your job, the door is right there. Get out. That's the way I always look at it. If you, that's my world.
Yeah.
If they're giving to me, it's like you have to finish task X, Y, Z. Like, okay, and I get in there and I fail miserably, I get shown the door.
It's the same with me. I mean, we got, my job, we have a lot of responsibility to
we get
deliver.
shown the door.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways, okay. Next cheery news item is sales for all 4 Magic Key passes have been paused. Udi, don't say you were going to go get one tonight because you weren't.
No, and I'll explain.
Please note that Please note, Udi, that we have paused new sales of Magic Key passes. At this time, Udi, current Magic Key holders may have the opportunity during the renewal window, 30 days prior to the pass expiration date, to renew into a pass made available within the program. That's interesting. The quantity of passes and pass types available for renewal may be limited. Passes or pass types may be unavailable from time to time or at any given time, only available for renewal. This is the first time sales of Magic Key passes have been paused since they resumed in March of this year. Before that, passes went on sale in January, and 3 of the 4 pass types sold out within the first day. Yes, that's right. January, that's my birthday. I went to get one. I couldn't get it. Neither could Jason, but now I do have one, and I'm happy. And that's a question mark. I'm happy. Udi, I feel like you want to say something about this.
Well, I don't want to,
Which is shocking to me.
No, Becky, if you want to start off on this one, please do, because I feel myself going on another one.
Well, I just had a couple questions. My first comment is, I guess if I can't get one, then I'm happy nobody can.
Well, that was nice of you.
No, I'm totally kidding.
No, I understand that. No, believe me, I fully understand that because I had to commiserate with Jason on my birthday, but I wanted to, and I go, dude, if I can't get one, I'm glad you didn't get one either, because now we can, be miserable
both
together.
Talk about it exactly. And then there was something that it said that was a little confusing to me, and I might have misheard it. But are they saying that when you go to renew your pass, you might not be able to get the same one? You might have to do a different one.
Yes, that is the wording here.
So are they doing this because they're changing something, I wonder?
Okay.
Or are they trying to force you into a different pass?
A higher tier. So my experience is that when it's come to renewal, I've never been forced to buy a different tier one. I've never had that experience, but that's not to say that can't happen. And according to the wording here, you're right. The wording is something that my spider senses went off to when I saw that.
Yep.
To renew into go ahead, Becky.
Well, I was going to say available within the program.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes, and that, like I said, I've never had that experience, but I'm hoping I don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope you don't too.
No. But the one I have now, I think I have, it's $8.49 or something, which was $6.99 like a year ago. So I don't know what's to become of that. Unless they're going to rake that up to $900 or $950 or something, which seems ridiculous at this point. But
yeah.
Or if they go, oh yeah, when it comes, because I have to renew in April, probably about the same time I can actually coax Udi into going back, which you better, and you're gonna like it. And
Oh, yeah.
but part, I mean, even if it's like, I mean, if they go, no, the only one that's available is the $1,200 one, I'm gonna say, no, that's beyond what I feel comfortable doing. But again, I don't know why they're doing this at this time. Udi, I suspect, has an opinion. What is it?
I never have an opinion. on
Okay.
that.
I can tell that you are chomping at the bit.
The bit is chomped.
So I remember when it came out and they said, "Hey, all of them are available. Have at it." And I went, "Good, hallelujah, sign of normalcy. Good
Yes.
on you, Disney."
Yes.
And I remember also saying that if they remove the reservation, another great hallelujah, and that would get me even closer to getting renewing. But I also remember saying, but if they go back on it,
Yeah.
I'm about to go off.
Yeah.
So this
I
is
remember
them.
you saying that.
This is them
Yeah.
going back on it.
Okay.
Okay? This to me is two things. One, absolutely still trying to gin up false scarcity. Okay? They have been trying to do this with this whole sold out thing forever. Disney, if you ever hear this, whoever thinks about this and works on this program, artificial scarcity doesn't work. Okay? It doesn't work. No one's buying into that. It's an annoyance. It's not a thing like, oh, I better get my pass. Not only that, then you're cutting back on another revenue stream. Okay? The other thing is it is absolutely them rejiggering this whole thing again. That means they're going to redo them again. Okay? And then ultimately, it is a low-key way with that phrasing to force people up. We've talked about it before where it feels like they're trying to get people to go up into the upper tiers. These lower tiers and the mid tiers are the ones that disappear the quickest. Well, duh. Because those are the ones that people can afford.
Right.
And those are the ones that fit most people. So they've been trimming those benefits away, and they're going, well, if I want to maintain that benefit and I really like that benefit, you got to go up higher and pay more. So this is Disney going back to what didn't work before. Now it's not as severe because they're not saying, okay, you can only do this, and then we're not gonna, and then we don't know we're gonna come back. They haven't said that. I'm not gonna go that far.
Right.
But the mere fact that they paused them. Once I read that article, I'm like, here we go again. Disney is going back and not being, how do I put it, creative, not being intellectual, and not understanding the market that they're catering to. Again, this is the way I look at it. A lot of people in Disney corporate need to be either corrected or fired, and I keep on saying it. This has nothing to do with the park.
No.
This has nothing to do with the cast members and all the people that make Disneyland amazing. This is crap in the corporate office that screws it up and makes it difficult for those people. And that's why I get frustrated. It makes it difficult for us. And then the people who are in the park and who make the park amazing and have to run the day-to-day operation, they probably read that and went, here we go, because now you're going to tell me they're not going to get the angry emails. They're not going to get the frustrated phone calls. They're not going to... This does this all them a disservice. So Disney, I'm just going to go back to it. I'm critical of when you screw up, and I'm thankful and I'm happy and I'm supportive when you do well. Guess what? You screwed up again, and you're doing it again. Why? Stop. You're on the right track. Go back. Go back. Keep on regaining that trust that you had.
Yeah.
And stop doing these kind of things. They don't work. Not a joke.
No.
Not anyway. So I mean, I could go on forever.
no, we
you
don't,
guys have heard me, but you got the gist of it.
No.
Because
So yeah, this episode 199 is not being pretty positive at this point. It's been all kind of negative, huh?
Yeah, well, you know,
And guess-
sometimes, and it gets even. This is the worst news out of all of
The
it. So,
the
Yeah,
hits
there has. Yeah, it
the
just isn't a very good news week.
no,
the hits just keep on coming.
Yeah.
Well, just the and that hopefully they bring the Magic Key passes back. And I don't know why they keep jerking them around, except as you said, to create panic and artificial scarcity.
It doesn't work anymore.
It's just.
It doesn't work anymore, Disney. It doesn't work anymore.
It's probably too soon for them to up the prices, but I would imagine by 2025 early they will probably have them up the prices back.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they'll
Yep.
raise them.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Whenever they unpause these or whatever, they'll be up. They'll go up.
No, not this time.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think they'll do it in the spring. Okay.
Well, no, they may pause them and wait until then.
Oh, you don't
You
think?
think they'll be paused till then?
Yep.
Oh, no,
I would
don't-
not. I would not be surprised.
No, I bet
How long-
they'll
what
come
was-
back next month or something.
I
It went from January
why?
to March.
Why? Okay. Why would they pause it now?
Which is a good point. Why would they? Especially they have D23 coming up. I
Yeah.
would think that'd be a time that people sparks interest.
Yes. Well, maybe they might bring him back for that.
Why pause
Maybe.
them now?
I don't know. I don't have a good reason for you. I mean, I can pretend to say, well, maybe they don't think that there's enough value in those because they don't have.
Then they're gonna no.
Yeah, I
again,
know, I'm
we
just-
we know that's not the case. So.
Okay. Okay.
You know, Mark, you're still an eternal optimist and you're still generous to them, and that's fine. It's actually a good thing because we all are to a huge extent. But yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Next cheery item.
this one's the worst one.
Disneyland cast member dies in backstage accident. A 24-year veteran Disneyland cast member died last week from injuries suffered during a backstage traffic accident. The resort confirmed on Saturday. Bonnie Lear was a membership services manager at Disneyland's Club 33. She reportedly fell from a moving golf cart being driven backstage behind Critter Country on Wednesday morning. That was last week and a half ago, and struck her head. Lear was transported to a local hospital where she died on Friday. The Orange County Register reports that Anaheim Police Department is investigating the accident.
That's sad.
Yeah. You never hear about. I mean,
No, it's rare.
it's
It
rare.
seems like a kind of fluke accident.
Very fluke. I feel bad for her. I know nothing about her or her family, but I hope that, prayers for healing and understanding for them and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And for anybody who was involved or around the area as well,
Yeah.
or just knew her.
Right. It's weird when someone in your work family dies.
Mm-hmm.
That's happened before, and it's just like, oh wow, they're not here today. And it's just it's hard for her family and friends. It's probably, I wouldn't say as hard for the people that survived, but there is some survivor's grief that's something that I'm sure they're going to get all that counseling for that, and at least made available to them. But anyways, I'm very sorry to hear that. And here we are complaining about Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no easy way to move on. But next thing is, I know this doesn't deal with Disneyland, but this could be something that could tie into our park, and that is the DVC Club Lounge is going to replace the Frontierland Shooting Arcade at Magic Kingdom. So construction on the lounge will begin this year. Disney will announce more details soon. But there was a rumor, and then again, we're talking about Walt Disney World. The previous rumor that the Shooting Arcade would close for a DVC lounge. DVC announced that a new lounge in January, but didn't share location at that time. So they said the new lounge will be a pioneer-inspired space, taking inspiration from the bygone era of exploration and adventure. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to just say I do not like this trend whatsoever. They're taking up spaces to have exclusive lounges for DVC members. And it's one of those things that it rubs me the wrong way. Like, oh, you can't get into this exclusive club unless you want to pay an additional premium. And also, I just wonder if they're thinking about that for here. Because I know they have the one lounge in Innovations or Star Wars. What is that place called? I know it's Interventions in America Sings building, but it's Star Wars something Bay, right? Oh, Launch Bay.
Launch Bay.
Oh yeah, lunch bay.
Yeah, the upstairs for Launch Bay. They have that there, and then there's one in DCA now by Grizzly River Run, and I just don't know where they're going to go with this, and I don't think we need these things.
Why don't they, if they want something, put it at a hotel?
Right? Or downtown Disney or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
or downtown Disney.
I don't understand what it. I mean, I do understand what they're doing. I just don't agree with it whatsoever. I think it's ridiculous. Okay.
No, I agree.
Also, if somebody's a DVC member, and if there is someone out there listening, is this something you would even want to use?
Yeah, I don't even know any DVC members.
I don't either, but this is where I'm with you with that. Like, looking at whatever the idea behind it is like the lounge and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That idea alone is not a bad idea. Okay, but I with you, I'm like, in agreement with you. Placement inside the park is something that you're taking away from other people, and you're becoming it's becoming a thing of the have and have nots.
Yeah.
That isn't what I mean, and we can argue all day long. Well, Walt, blah blah blah, but no. Quite literally, Walt was like, we want a place where everybody can come to. Legit. So when they do this kind of stuff, I'm like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, put it outside the park. Like you wanted, I get that, or put it in a place like okay, Club 33. That isn't over a well traveled area. It's up and away in the second story, and up and away. Even the one for Launch Bay, I don't have such a problem with that because it's up and away.
Yeah,
you're not taking out an attraction and then making an exclusive park.
Right.
Launch Bay was nothing there, so they're making use of that. Okay, but to take out something, to put that in there, that is open for everybody, and then you're like, stop it.
Well, the other issue about this particularly is that what if they're thinking like we don't need a shooting exposition in our Frontierland because guns are problematic.
Well, no.
Although we have no problem giving that to Red and Pirates of the Caribbean, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah. Well.
But
right, and that was my first thought too. If they're changing it in Florida, what are they thinking about in California?
Yeah. And and to me, I wouldn't. If they took out the exposition, because it isn't something that a lot of people go to.
Yeah, it's not popular.
Fair argument, because it isn't. And when you go by there, it isn't like back to back people trying to get in there.
No.
But that being said, though, to then remove it, like do something else with it that can be still inclusive of other people, not just like a DVC thing. Well, now you got to be a member.
Yeah.
And I just don't like that. I don't like these artificial divisions that they put in.
Sure.
Especially inside the gates of the park. Mm-hmm. Not a fan of them at all.
Okay. Well, we shall see how that goes. All right. Well, actually, two more stories, I guess, and I'm going to say positive, is new Matterhorn Tiki mug coming to Disneyland Resort for the 65th anniversary.
I heard this is an $80 mug, Mark, isn't it?
No. A new Matterhorn 65th anniversary Yeti Tiki mug will be available from Trader Sam's at Disneyland Resort. That was starting yesterday on June 20th. Disneyland shared a glimpse of the mug on Instagram. It will come with a coconut pineapple Dole Whip that was already available in the Matterhorn cup, which we talked about with Lewis. We want to get that.
Yeah.
Honoring 65 years of the Disneyland attraction. The new Tiki mug is sculpted like a mix of the mountain and the Yeti. It's white with blue highlights and details.
It is very cool.
On the back,
I think it looks so cool.
Yes. Yeah. On the back below the opening is 65th anniversary. Mm-hmm. The Tiki mug will be available for purchase at Disneyland app through the Trader Sam's mug release listing. Mobile orders will start as early as 6 a.m. on June 20th. Okay, so it's going to be these are going to be limited time, I guess.
Yeah.
Shoot. But those. I mean, I'm glad they're doing this. I don't. Oh yeah. Is it $80?
I have no idea.
Oh. Yeah, I think I'm more into the $10 glass or cup that you can get. The one there was a picture of the mug or the Matterhorn cup in the back, which I kind of like better. I just don't. I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
This has got Joey written all over it to me.
Mm-hmm.
He loves this kind of stuff. I mean, it looks great. I just
I wouldn't spend $80,
no.
but I would get it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if we were there and they go, hey, we have these available, I could easily be talked into getting this, and just display it because.
What would be your price point?
With it's supposed to come with the coconut Dole Whip, right? Oh,
Yeah.
coconut, I'd say $40. Do you think it's more than that?
Okay, I was thinking like 30.
Okay, well, are you looking right now, Udi?
Trying.
Oh, just go to the Disneyland app.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, Udi's looking for that. I wish they had more stuff available for the Matterhorn for the 65th anniversary. I know they're doing stuff at Club 33, which is all Matterhorn themed right now, and it's kind of frustrating because I don't have access to Club 33 or really anyone that can go there. Maybe one person, but I would love to get my hands on some of the Matterhorn stuff. I hope that trickles down to the common folk.
It's definitely merchandise I would pay for. I would get a Matterhorn themed shirt.
Oh, you would?
I could think, yeah, I would, or a bag.
Oh, like a Loungefly bag?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely would. Is there actually? There might be a Loungefly bag.
there is one for Club 33.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's only for Club 33.
Yeah, and it is awesome. It's awesome. Have you seen it?
I don't think I've seen it. You'll have, yeah, send it to me. I wonder why they would only have it for Club 33. Wouldn't you think that Matterhorn merchandise would be popular?
I would think so. Check your phone, Becky.
Oh,
Did you get it?
yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, I really like that.
Uh,
No, I would pay $80 for that.
Yeah, that'd be $80 for sure, before your discount. Did you find it,
Oh,
Udi?
that's really cool.
Nope. You go to the app and you go to Trader Sam's, but the window we're outside of the window because it's 5:44, and they said it's available between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Okay, well, we don't know what the price is. We will find out probably by the time this show comes on next. All right. Last two news items here is Oogie Boogie Bash. Magic key holders will have the opportunity to purchase from a select amount of pre-sale tickets beginning June 25th. That is Tuesday. For Inspired key holders. Wait a minute. Am I an Inspired key holder? I actually have no idea what key I have. And June 26th for all Magic key holders. So I'm guessing mine is June 26th. I think June 25th is for the high-end ones. So we can get those before tickets are available to the general public. The waiting room for tickets will open approximately at 8:45 Pacific time, a.m., with sales starting no later than 9 a.m. The waiting room for Magic key holders to purchase pre-sale tickets will close at midnight. Okay. So again, this is going to be select nights starting in August, and they're going to go from $134 up to $189 a person.
Wow.
Wow is right. And I'm just going to say this, as if someone who's been to many of these before, I would advise you not to do this. Honestly, $134 for 5 hours of hanging out you don't get a free drink, you don't get any food, you don't get parking. You just get to go on a candy treat line and go to Villains Grove. I mean, honestly, if you've never done it, sure, be my guest. Go ahead and do it. No pun intended. But you say even your dog gets upset, Becky.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. No, I just this is completely. I don't even know how to say it, but again, if you think this is a great deal, you might be financially illiterate. I just don't think this is a good deal whatsoever.
Well, like the $189, it's basically the same price as it is to go to the park for the day.
Yeah.
but for 5 hours
Right.
to stand in line for candy.
Exactly right. Yep. And some photo ops, which is going to be a huge line for that. And no, I don't think so. So for me, they have kind of gone beyond the price of reasonable for me for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyways, if that's your thing, well, knock yourself out. I will be there for one of the nights, but we're not going to go to the Halloween or Oogie Boogie Bash.
And you were considering it, weren't you?
Well, I said I didn't need to go, but if my daughters wanted to really go, you know, they can talk me into virtually anything. So if they go, no, Dad, we really want to go, then I probably would have said, okay, let's go then. But the night that we're going to be there at the park, it's there 159.
Wow.
Yeah, I already looked at that. I'm like, really? And then I told them, I go, you know, let's just save that money and go to a dinner somewhere nice, and we won't even spend like a third of that.
Yeah.
You know, and by the way, I mean, great. DCA is going to be closed from like 7 till 9, or 6 to midnight. Great. We're going to be at Disneyland, and I would much rather be at Disneyland. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, but no, I don't think they want to go. Okay, last news item, and this is interesting, and this is good. Haunted Mansion Holiday will return with a virtual queue. Due to the attraction's queue refurbishment still being in progress, Haunted Mansion Holiday will only be offered via virtual queue at Disneyland Park when it reopens. What do you guys think of the Haunted Mansion Holiday being virtual queue only for the Halloween and holiday season? Does it affect your upcoming plans to visit Disneyland Park and experience the ride during that time? And I think it's supposed to open in late July, is what I heard.
Really? With the holiday?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, it makes sense.
It does make sense.
Well, they probably just left it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this tells me that they are nowhere near getting this queue ready, but they do need this thing up and running. So I'm gonna say that this probably is the right decision to do that. You know what I mean? Because they don't want people like hanging out around there, because at that point there may be nowhere to go. I mean, literally, there's going to be walls right past the Haunted Mansion. They
don't really have any other choices.
Right. I mean, the whole west side is going to shut down. So, I mean, yeah, that's great that they're thinking of this. I do wonder, though, what's taking them so long to get this queue and elevator thing installed.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I know, the elevator must be on the inside. And everything else is. I have no idea what's taking them so long to get this thing done.
Yeah, I don't either. It makes me think that they either they probably ran into a delay.
Yeah.
Or they have really poor management.
I don't think that's the case. I think I think those guys are pretty good.
Well, no.
Sorry, those folks are pretty good
yeah,
at that.
no, and to be honest though, 100%. Product and delays of equipment and machinery can happen.
That's because of post pandemic.
No, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm getting you worked up, Udi. No, but I mean, and this could also be like one of those things where, like Thursday, it looks like a pile of rubble, and then by Sunday, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, now I see it's all done. You know?
It won't be that that dramatic, but. I don't know. It could be. No, I don't know why. To me, I'm of the mind that they ran into a delay of some kind.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that honestly, that makes more logical sense than anything else, and it just adds to the whole congestion and bad show and the whole thing.
Bad show.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's going to be our news and everything. That's a long news stuff. So, we'll talk about Tiana's Bayou Adventure in our feature presentation. So let's go to the feature presentation.
And now for our feature presentation.
So here's our feature presentation. Before that, I want to talk about a quick attraction, the past, present, and future, since it's going to be closed on July 8th, and that's going to be the Davy Crockett Explorer Canoes. So a quick history of these things. These actually started off in July 4th, 1956, so just about a year after the park started, like within a week, or opened. But they were known as the Indian War Canoes. Of all the many cars, boats, trains, and carts guests can ride at Disneyland, only one has required its passengers to help with the actual propulsion. That's the Indian War Canoes in Frontierland. And they started on Independence Day of 1956. Like the Mark Twain, the D-Ticket the D-Ticket canoes made an approximately 12-minute trip around Tom Sawyer's Island, but canoes deferred right away to the bigger, less mobile watercraft. The canoes launched from the northernmost dock along the western bank of the Rivers of America, a spot near the Indian Village and opposite the central section of Tom Sawyer Island. The canoes weren't made by Disney, coming instead from a canoe building company in Maine. We used to sell those guys. Actually, was Old Town was the company.
Old Town.
Yep, they're still around. Originally, the 35-foot-long, 1-ton vehicles had small motors to supplement the paddles. These, however, were soon eliminated, so all power had to come from the dozen guests and 2 strong armed cast members in each boat. On May 19, 1971, the Indian War Canoes got a more politically correct name, though Davy Crockett Explorer Canoes was basically the same attraction. They've operated irregularly because of weather concerns, and there was some talk they'd be permanently retired in late 90s. However, today the canoe still exists as rustic throwbacks to Disney's earlier, simpler years. That's a brief history of that. It's noted that Walt Disney World does not have them inside the park. They do have them to rent at, I think, Fort Wilderness, which is a hotel out there. So you can rent those and go on different bodies of water out by the hotel. But I don't think any other parks offer the canoes. Maybe one, Paris might. I don't know. But definitely none of the domestic parks have them. And they will be shut down on July 8th temporarily so they can get done with, I guess, Tiana's Bayou Adventure stuff and Critter Country stuff, as well as Hungry Bear Restaurant. We talked about that in the last show. So that is a little brief history. They've been around since July 4th, 1956. What do you guys think about these canoes? Do you see them around in the next 5 years?
I hope so.
Yeah, I agree. I hope. I don't see them going away. There's no need to get rid of them.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they left Disney World. Who knows? But to me, it's one of those things that make this park a little unique. Well, I think this park's like unique in a lot of ways, but it's nice to have these canoes there for guests to enjoy.
Yeah, it adds such a good atmosphere, and I always see people on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I swore I'd never been on them before, but my mom produced a picture of me on them, and with my sister, and I have no memory of that whatsoever. But I do want to try and go on it again when I go back, probably by myself. I don't think my daughters want to do it, but I think I'd have a different appreciation. I would appreciate them more now, I think, as an adult. Plus, you never get to be that. Going around Tom Sawyer's Island from that perspective will be kind of cool too.
It would. And be a nice little workout.
Yes.
You work your lower body all day walking around, you can work your upper body and core.
Yes. I only want to do it if I could have a churro in my mouth the whole time with no hands. Just
That'll be like your cigar, just stub it and.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I want to try it. Okay, so no, I am in agreement with you guys. I think the Davy Crockett canoes will be around for the foreseeable future. I think it's just one of those staples. I just don't see it going away.
Correct.
I mean,
I agree.
The only time that I really thought they might go away is when they were building Galaxy's Edge and they had the Rivers of America basically just Kofru dammed off. I guess that's the right term, Kofru Dam. And I go, well, we had no idea what the Rivers of America is going to look like, what's going to be going on with that afterwards, and that might be the best time to take them out. But no, they survived. So long live the Davy Crockett Explorer Canoes.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Do you want to spend like 3 minutes on the Acolyte real quick before we get to a TBA, which is now going to be Tiana's Bayou adventure?
That's where we're gonna. Okay, so
This is Disney.
okay, this is Disney related. So for everybody who wants to, I'm gonna go abbreviated.
And I'm gonna set a timer for you, Woody.
Okay, go for it. If you want to hear, and I'll say this, if you want to hear a full breakdown of my thoughts, as well as the other guys on my other show, the Mando Show, please go over there to the Mando Show and listen to it. It is our latest episode, and we have varying opinions, and we talk about that show. So let me tie it into what I said earlier.
Uh-huh.
The Acolyte is treating us like we're stupid. What I mean by that is they're not being very creative in their writing. You can tell everything that's happening. There's no mystery. There's no anything. They bludgeon you over the head with certain things that happen in the show. I'll give you the example. They go back without giving too much away. There is a scene that has the two twins, and I'm not giving that away because they gave that away pretty much right away. Anyway,
You can give whatever you want away.
yeah, and they're arguing, and they're arguing, and they went over and over, and they kept on going over it. Like, we get it. The way they introduced the twins and how they weren't getting along or how they bickered like siblings can was fine. But then, for whatever reason, they decided to just beat you over the head with it. And this is the problem with the Acolyte. Poor writing, poor story, and not the best cinematography. That is it in a nutshell. I will give it the positive that, Li Zhongjing, I think it's Li Zhongjie. Soul is by far the highlight of the show.
I agree with that.
He is very Qui-Gon-esque. And there's a level of me that is like, dude, you are hitting it out of the park. You don't even know English. The English you know is these lines that you learned. And you deliver them in such a believable way. And he's the highlight of the show.
Yeah, if I don't know who that guy is, he was the lead in Squid Games.
Squid Game, yeah. So if you guys don't know, you can equate that. Maybe Becky, that might click it. Like, oh, that guy. Yes, that guy.
Yeah, that click.
Phenomenal actor.
Phenomenal.
Yep.
And then you have Carrie-Anne Moss in there
From The Matrix.
From The Matrix.
Yes.
And that's
she does a
Trinity. There are aspects of the show that are good.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's horrible writing, lazy storytelling, and it is just you can avoid it. Yeah, they're very evident in some of the quote unquote messaging that they're too upfront about it. Again, I always say the same thing. If you want to make a character that is of a different ethnicity, different sexual background, and all this kind of stuff, and whatever, I got no problem with that. Just make it a good character, and don't browbeat you over it and make it the thing. Just tell the story.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with the Acolyte too, is that some of the things, it just doesn't come off as genuine. It does not come off. There's a scene with the two witches, and again, there's another thing that I'm going to say. The vast majority of the people who are Disney fans and casual Star Wars fans don't know where any of this is coming from.
Right.
You have to be deeper in the lore to get it. But there's a scene between
just like Becky is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. You're gonna miss parts of it. They're just like anyway. So there's a scene between the two witches who are clearly a couple, and they have a piss poor dynamic. It doesn't seem genuine, like they actually care about each other. And I don't know that is writing, that's acting, and directing. So that's the show is just plagued with many things outside of the acting. There we go. That's my time, and I'm done. But yeah, like I said,
that's Woody's timer.
There is an hour-long show on that. We cover it. I think it's about an hour long. We discuss it a lot into further detail. But anyway, there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Acolyte, you can miss it. I'll put it to you that way. I'm going to continue to watch it. We will see where they end up, but I don't have a lot of faith right now.
Okay.
There you go.
Do you want to know what I think of the Acolyte?
Yeah.
Okay, well, since you asked.
I know. Well, I figured you'd just speak.
Becky, do you want to chime in on the Acolyte yet?
I have nothing to say. I have just heard that it discredits a lot of future stories, maybe.
Okay, well, there's a point to what you're saying, and I'm going to say this, is that just be careful. And I don't know what has started this nonsense, but there seems to be a lot of negativity in general about this, that there may be some influencers that are just saying this and this and this, and they're already tainting the narrative. They're saying, you did episode 3 sucks, the worst thing ever in Star Wars history.
Yeah.
Episode 4 sucked.
No, I disagree. Episode 3 is not the worst thing in Disney history, but it is not good.
Episode 8 and 9 of the thing.
No, absolute. Episode 8 of the movie Last Jedi.
And 9 sucked.
Well, but no. The worst thing ever to grace us with their presence was The Last Jedi.
Sure. Okay, I'm not going to argue with that. Anyways, my thing with the Acolyte is that I love people getting upset about stuff that actually never happened, fantasy. So I love that. This is what happened. And I go, dude, none of this ever happened. This isn't real. So you have to, take that. But let's just, for the sake of these people talking about it. I mean, I go fairly deep into Star Wars, and not enough to be even on the Mando show. But I can hold a conversation with most people regarding Star Wars.
Yep.
To me, the story is not as strong as the message that they're trying to drive home. I'm someone that deals with words for a living, and I'm a stickler for words. When they use certain words, when I hear them, I go, okay, that is the wrong thing.
Yeah, words have meaning.
Words have meaning, and I know what they're saying. I know exactly what this Witch's Coven is supposed to represent. I know exactly what they're saying and what they're trying to do.
The power of one.
The power of one, and also that character he's the creature who fixes things. You know what I'm talking about when she makes a comment about that person.
About their pronouns.
Yes, and then the mothers, which is funny to me. I go, okay.
I don't really that.
I just laughed. I mean,
no, it didn't bother me. Like a lot of people, are like, oh my God, they're lesbian. I'm like, I don't care.
No, who cares about that?
I don't care.
But I see what the bigger message is that they're trying to do. I think the highlights are again, Soul is great. Yeah. Probably one of the. And I'd love to see more of that guy.
I want him. Like, give me a series on him.
Yeah.
You want me to buy into the High Republic? Give me him.
But I mean, you've seen episode 4 already.
Yeah.
Okay, so
a waste of 27 minutes of I've ever seen one.
What's the name for the zipper head guy?
I got no idea.
But you already know who that is.
Yeah. Who do you think it is?
I don't know the guy's name, but I think it's that guy who was making the potion for it.
Thank you. That's what I called.
I mean, it's got to be him.
It's got to be him.
Because they're out hiking, right?
I literally had that conversation with my brother this morning.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm. Well, he's like, no. I'm like,
no,
dude. And okay, go ahead.
They're out hiking together. And then they don't see him. Well, he gets into a trap, right? And then all of a sudden he shows up out of nowhere. Come on. And even
lazy writing.
In episode 1, when he looks at Osha, I guess, and he goes, "You look just like her." How would that guy even know? Okay, so Becky's like, "You guys are right." Okay, no. So to me, it's kind of lazy writing, and I'm not going to get into the fact about like a mountain burning down and everything.
You heard our show.
Yeah, I did because
you heard our low key clowning on that.
Yeah,
the whole show.
I had the same thought. I go, but here at the end of the day, is it entertaining? It's
no.
Well,
no, not really.
It's interesting seeing Jedis doing this, but again, the message is that they're going to put these guys bad as make them bad. Yeah. Which I don't really like whatsoever.
No, and that was my comment. I don't appreciate the fact that I feel like they're trying to make the Jedi the bad guy. They're trying to push. The one thing that I feel, and for whatever reason, whenever I see lazy writing,
yeah,
and the trend has been out of Lucasfilm has been the deconstruction of our heroes. They did it to Luke,
Yes.
and they did it to Indy, because I have yet to watch the last Indiana Jones. I don't want to see a decrepit old Indiana Jones. I don't want to see a broken down man. I don't care.
I saw that at the theater. You know what? There was some nonsense going on, but it was entertaining.
No, but my point is, I get that. I'm not arguing if you enjoy the film, have at it, but I don't want to see that. I don't need a deconstruction of my hero. Okay. It to me, a deconstruction of your heroes now is lazy. It's just, I'm going to deconstruct a hero and make him everything bad. It's like, why? What purpose do you have? So that's what I feel like. They're trying to deconstruct the Jedis.
Yeah.
And make them the bad guys. I don't like that, because you can be critical, but when you're literally trying to paint them all, I mean, it's the same thing. And I think I made the comment on the Mando show, was like, when they come roll, like the way the Coven treat them, like, oh, these are the cops. Is like, why are you mad at the cops, man? They didn't do nothing.
No.
Like, I think I made the joke, like, in that episode. They, like, came in, and they're like, it was like the cops breaking up a party, like,
Right.
we get a noise complaint.
Yeah. Right.
And that's a sense, but, it's how they portray the character. So I can feel, or I have a feeling of what they're trying to do, because this is what they've done.
Yeah.
And again, it's lazy. And then the reaction and the thing that cued me up to like, oh no. And it made me go like, oh crap, I hope it doesn't go this way, was the media and Disney prefacing before the show even released about, well, you're not going to like it. And if you don't like it, it's a problem with you. And they're continuing with that. And it's like, dude, like I said, listen to our Amanda show. You're gonna hear all the different opinions, but we all clown on the things that are stupid.
Sure.
And you're gonna say, like, my brother likes it, Chad overall likes it, Joey likes everything. So
Yeah, Joey's never upset.
Huh?
See, that's the one thing about Joey, can never be on the LTP, because he doesn't get upset about stuff.
He's too happy.
No, he does, but it's rare.
It's very, very rare.
But anyway, but the point is, like, even though we all have our different opinions on the show, we are all very critical about some of the stupid things.
Well, okay, but here's the thing, though. For me, I find it mildly entertaining.
Okay.
As Chad said, it's another Star Wars story. It's not going to change how I think about what I think about episodes 4, 5, and 6 or anything like that. But just real quick on the timeline, I know we're getting off topic here. Is it possible we could see Qui-Gon in here? As like, this is way too far before, but we don't know how old Qui-Gon is.
No, this is set 100 years, and Qui-Gon was in his mid-50s, I think. I can probably look it up. But
okay, I mean, of course, none of this is real, but I was just wondering if there's going to be anyone that we're going to know.
Oh, Ki-Adi-Mundi already showed up in the last episode.
Yes, I did.
Threw the timeline off. Already.
Yes. Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, for everybody knows.
Becky actually messaged me from
like,
Hawaii. She was in Hawaii.
I know. Was that Ki-Adi-Mundi? What's he doing there? I'm like,
and then Becky goes, "Didn't they just mess up the timeline?" I go, Becky, I think you're drinking way too many Mai Tais over there, and you're not thinking correctly.
You know, though, you guys have helped me settle something just listening to all this.
Yeah.
Because, last show I had talked about maybe my husband and I would watch this together.
Yes.
But now I think I actually have a good argument for getting him to watch all 3 seasons of Bridgerton instead of going this route.
Oh. What?
I don't even want to know how that ties in. I really don't.
What is Bridgerton about?
No.
Just don't even ask.
No.
Oh, okay. I have no idea.
No, I do know. That's why I'm like, I don't know how that tied in, but hey.
It's amazing.
I've seen it on Netflix, but I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right.
No, my husband would have no interest of watching it.
We're not, Mark, we're not the demographic for it, okay?
Okay.
We're not, I'll put it that way. We are not the demographic for Bridgerton.
Okay.
Not even a little bit.
All right. Well, let's talk about Tiana's Bayou adventure, shall we? TBA. So POV footage got released about 2 weeks ago, a little less than 2 weeks ago, and we talked about this on LTP Lounge.
I was going to say that if you guys want like a live in the reaction of both Mark and myself, and
Lewis,
go to our YouTube channel. It's there.
Yeah. But since then, a lot of media influencers have been on there.
Yeah.
Heard they were offered $400 gift packs.
They were given, not offered.
Given to say favorable things, which was interesting. Which I don't think that's really brand new to the world.
Not
stuff.
at all.
But
some people try to act like, oh my God. I'm like, dude, calm down. Like this is part. part and parcel
and
with everything.
by the way, and this would never happen, but if they had asked us to come out there and do it, I would have been more than happy to take that guy.
I would have taken it.
And given him
it would have done zero to alter my what I say about it.
yeah.
But hey,
Okay, so
you want to give me exclusives? Slide them over.
Yeah.
I'll put them on eBay just like everybody else. Anyway, I'm kidding. I would
no.
not. I would not.
So for those of you who have, and again, I need to preface this by saying my final judgment will not be made until we can ride it together.
Correct.
And you can get the tactile feel and feel. And I've been using that word a lot lately. Tactile is just get immersed in the atmosphere and the story, whatever story there is, and just the artwork of whatever of Tiana's Bayou adventure is going to be for here at Disneyland. And it should be noted that our Splash Mountain variant is different in that it's shorter than theirs. And also the logs, we don't sit side by side. We sit like Matterhorn style, like back and forth, which I don't like that either, at all. I wish we could sit next to each other on that as opposed to straddling a bench.
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the more I looked at it, the more I thought our park will have a better version than what we've seen, because what I saw, there was a lot of dark spaces, and they could be using this for this time now to tweak things. I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah. Well, I think the tell for everybody who hasn't seen the video, if you do, even the one from Disney, their release, there are jump cuts in it, right? And that's your tell. Like that's covering over that's eliminating.
Like dead space.
Exactly.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, there are. You mean, in the video, there's cuts.
Correct.
Yes, there are.
So that tells you like a proper ride through is going to be. I think we watched a proper ride through, which was nonstop.
Yes.
No breaking it. And then we were pointing out, I think in that video, like, what's that? That doesn't look good. This,
Well, yeah, we watched two videos. One was a night and one was day. But I mean, and I had never seen any of this stuff. I don't think Udi had either.
I had not.
And I mean, I could tell you that he and I were, I mean, honestly, genuinely excited. Like, oh, this is cool. That part does not look good.
Yeah.
But my overall feeling was that I didn't quite understand what the story is.
Yeah.
I don't understand what Tiana's food is in relation to what was being presented. I mean, it could have been, instead of Tiana's foods, it could have been Tiana's used cars or Tiana's title company or something. I mean, seriously, they have no idea.
It could have been anything.
Yeah, I mean, that has nothing to do with anything. I know Lewis was. Go ahead, Becky.
Well, I was just gonna say it seemed just thrown in there.
Yeah.
Like you had 2 or 3 different ideas that they all just threw together.
Well, I since that video got released, I watched a few more people comment on it and talk about it, and from what I got was apparently, and I remember this, it was originally supposed to be about finding a spice.
Yes.
And then it became the thing of now finding the band members.
Okay.
And then there's the song at the end, something about you're the hidden spice, whatever the song at the very end didn't get changed, and still alluding to you're the hidden, or you're the special ingredient.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a convoluted story. That's the problem with it.
It is.
Animatronics are amazing when they're working. I've also been hearing that there's been a lot of problems with them breaking down.
Okay, so let's go through the pros first.
Yeah. Okay.
And like you said, the artwork in the animatronics, and I think the whole Imagineering of what they were asked to do, it looks great. I love the foliage at night. I think the translucent and bioluminescent plant work looks great.
Yeah.
And as Udi said, the animatronics, and Lewis was going off. He's like, okay, this is a class 5 or
Gen.
Or yeah, a Gen. I have no idea what I have no idea what
Gen 5.5.
Yeah, I have no idea what those Gen numbers are, but I guess Gen 5 or Gen 6 is the latest variant of that. And all of that I thought looked great. The lighting package at night.
The queue.
Yeah. Yes, the queue looked great. That queue is going to be different than ours as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which reminded me, and I know I brought this up, when we were there last time and we were down in Critter Country, I thought that maybe they could be extending the queue out in that direction as to the one we have come to know at our park. So it'd be interesting because that, like I said, our queue is going to look a lot different than what we see in Florida. But that being said, I thought that the queue looked great. What were some pros that you guys saw?
I'm more of along the line with you. The animatronic, to me, is going to be the highlight. Overall, that to me is the biggest thing. The exterior of the mountain at night looked cool. During the day, it was very. What's the word I want to use? Very
Underwhelming.
Yeah, bland and underwhelming. Other than that, I can't really think of anything. Sadly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be super negative, and definitely I hope that some of my feelings change when I do see it in person.
Yeah.
But really, the only positive I had was the queue. I really didn't like a lot of it.
Okay. And why is that?
I agree with you in that the story didn't flow to me. Like, you're going through, and I saw this banner for food that really, the way that it was set up almost looked like it was under construction to me, and they had put up a partition to like block you seeing what's going on in the construction. So that threw me off. Then you go in and you see Tiana, and she's in her adventure outfit, but nothing she was doing seemed that adventurous to me. She's looking for this random band member, and I felt like, why am I supposed to care about this? I don't even know who these people are. And then all that, and then you have the drop, but it didn't seem like we built up anything to have this drop. Then you get into the end, that's supposed to be, like, the way I always saw Splash Mountain was like the finale of a musical. You know, where you have chills and you're excited and you're wanting to sing with it and you can't wait for it to happen again and you have like this great experience.
Yeah.
I was like, where are we? Are we at Mardi Gras? Are we at a restaurant? Why is this song in here that I don't even know, that doesn't seem to stick with me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It didn't put me in a good mood.
No, you don't need to be. No, I mean, I think your opinion's great on this. I mean, you are a fan of Disneyland. You're a paying customer, and your input is 100% valid on this. I mean, no, I can't disagree on any of that. I mean, I don't.
And people always talk plussing. It didn't seem like plussing to me.
No, I mean, no, it didn't. And I think I may have said this on the LTP Lounge, was that I wouldn't have minded if they invested the money in the tech to make Splash Mountain just enhance the tech we already had.
Yeah.
I hate to even say this, but it's like, I don't know if, what is it now, 2024? In 2029, that this thing's even going to be around the way it is. I mean, and I don't mean to be funny or anything. I just do. I do not. What is the lifespan of any given popularity with this?
Yeah.
I think
you know what I mean.
No, I concur. That is, and I think I might have told you that before recording. I don't know if this is going to be around in 5 years.
You mentioned that, and I was like, no, I think you're spot on.
Yeah. In this current iteration, I'll be more specific. I don't think they're going to go through and completely gut the thing again and redo it. But I do feel them going through and going like, okay, well, whatever we did isn't going through and it isn't coming across and the people aren't connecting with it. What do we need to do to change that? Story element is going to be the number one thing.
Yeah.
We talk about our timeless classic attractions. What is the main thing that carries it all through? The story we go through it. Peter Pan, Pinocchio. I mean, we can go on and on, right?
Sure.
Pirates, even Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
All these things. Even, I mean, as a roller coaster, you think of Space Mountain and you think of Thunder Mountain, Big Thunder.
And Matterhorn,
Matterhorn.
Come on, get your $80 mug.
I need my $80 mug. Don't
Actually,
worry, I'll eBay it for $300.
Yeah, they're on eBay right now for $300.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
And Mark had some choice words, but anyway. But yeah, that is going to be the thing. So, that's the main problem with this. You take Splash Mountain out, and the story you follow, the build up with Brer, and then with Brer Rabbit and in the and then it builds to the fall, going into the Brer Bush and everything.
Yeah.
You get what's going on, okay? And what we saw in that ride through in the POVs is you don't get that. Remember,
No.
I was going through like, why is that there? What is this like? What are we doing through? There are aspects of it that are amazingly cool,
Yes.
but the overall is like very wah-wah, very blah, very okay. Too many screens. I said that. There are too many screens, and they're that to me is like a lazy way of fixing the problem.
Right.
It can be really cool, and there's a lot of screen used in Rise. So you get that, but that is such a compact. It's a different animal. But yeah, that's the main problem. So I have a feeling they're going to need to correct that. Now, I'm hoping that our park, they will have now been like, okay, that isn't working.
Right.
So we need to correct that like now while we're in that
yeah.
phase.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume, like in many projects, they're going to be done in a very compartmentalized fashion. So they're going to probably walk it through. And to me, that's what it feels like because of how the story or lack of on that attraction goes through. Is like it begins in one way, and then you get down to here, it's a different thing, and you get over here, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
To me, it tells me that they were working here, and then they're moving through the attraction, and then that's why it's changing as they go.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, we got to change it here, we got to change it here. I could be wrong, but that's how I interpret that. So what I'm hoping for is that they're going to see that. And that, honestly, that's been the biggest complaint.
Okay.
No coherent, clear storyline. And that's a big problem. That is the foundation for the entirety of the thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can do that and go like, okay, well, we can't put that. We can't do a 1-for-1 with Florida. We got to correct it.
It may be too late. And
it could be.
The die
Very
could
well
be
could be.
cast ready for that.
But here's the thing: we don't have an opening date, do we, for ours yet?
We do not.
Okay.
No.
There you go. The longer it takes after this one opens up in Florida, which is going to be what, next week?
The 28th. Yeah.
Okay.
In 8 days.
Okay.
No, it's the 21st.
In a week.
Oh,
of
a
today.
Friday.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, a week from today.
A week of recording.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting. The longer we get of what was a 2-month? Was it 2 month or 3 month gap between ours
About
and
3
theirs?
months, yeah.
Okay. So if you're tracking, you would think, well, about 3 months, right?
Yeah, right when I'm there with the girls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if we don't get a date, pretty quick here about, well, okay, in 3 months it's going to open, or roughly there, 3 to 4. It to me, I'm going to take it like, okay, maybe you are identifying some of these problems and trying to correct them now.
It could be.
I hope.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, except I just keep thinking, how much better would this have been if it was like the Country Bear Jamboree or based on those guys, which would have been like a natural transition.
Everything would have fit.
Yes, I mean,
Without a lot of craziness.
without anyone getting worked up.
In fact, it would have been probably a lot of well, we're losing that, but at least we're going to get Country Bear back.
Yeah, absolutely right.
I know, I would have been over the moon, happy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like sour grapes, but I mean, and I want to give it the benefit of the doubt.
I
But
almost think, too, if they had gone with the actual story of Princess and the Frog, it would have created more life in there.
It would
because
have.
you at least do have really good music, for one, or, catchy music that can add to the story.
yeah,
But then you also have a story where you have a build-up. You have
Mhm.
a reason to have a big drop. You have a
Mhm.
drama,
Mhm.
and then you have happiness at the end.
Mhm.
And you also, there's like so many different aspects I think they could even add into the queue about Tiana and her dad. Everything before you even enter into
Yep.
the boat. And then even the aspect of having Tiana's voice narrating the story, or like you're seeing it from the perspective you're a frog. I just think there's so many different ways they could have gone, and to think they did that. And I also felt extra disappointed because I think like a week or two before you, Mark, had sent us a video of the new Rapunzel attraction.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At Tokyo. That was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. And that was just a simple boat ride
Yeah.
where you're doing nothing. You have no drop, you have no drama that way. But the way it was so well done.
Mm-hmm.
If people haven't watched that, you definitely should. But then to see that and then see Tiana's, I felt really disappointed.
Yep.
Well, again, the problem with Disney now for a while has been storytelling issues. And why they would not have done a 1-for-1 for
Wow.
Princess and the Frog is beyond me.
Ye-
Okay? Because you could have easily, like, Facilier. Okay? Dr. Facilier. Probably one of the best villains around. Okay? And they were like, well, we don't want the voodoo aspect. Okay, why?
Why?
It's in the movie.
Why don't they want that? It'd be
I don't
offensive.
know why, but it looks like they
Is
actively
it
avoided
like a
it.
taboo subject or
I
something?
don't know.
But it's part of the movie, and isn't that kind of a cultural thing
Yes,
of
it's
that
part
area?
of the. It's part of the.
Well-
From my understanding, it's part of the Creole kind of Cajun, the Creole culture. Voodoo's part of that.
Plus, they've had that guy walking around New Orleans Square causing trouble. Or not causing trouble, but like doing stuff. Yeah.
And so to me, okay. And this is going to go back to my earlier tirade about them thinking we're dumb. Okay. This is where they did the same thing with Galaxy's Edge. They're going to make Hondo Tanaka, blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, no, we're going to teach you this new stuff. And like, no, we don't like that. Like, well, you're too dumb to get what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't like it. It's not a good story. It doesn't connect with us. That's what it is. Not because we're dumb and we don't get it. It's because we don't like it.
Right.
And you didn't do a good job. So, Galaxy's Edge. This is echoes of the failures of Galaxy's Edge.
Sure.
Creating a story with characters that you kind of know, or ones that you do know really well, but you're creating a new story and attraction. No, create a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Princess and the Frog 2 or whatever? Telling this
Well,
story.
they're supposed to be the TV series.
Right. Too late. You don't do it in this order. You do it in the
Yeah.
opposite order.
They're having a
And
TV series on this?
Yeah, they were supposed to. I don't know if it's still coming out.
I
Why?
don't know if it still is, but
No.
well,
Uh,
to me, that's also I don't know why, but if they are, to me, if the aspect is we're going to see Tiana in the adventure outfit, if we're going to see that side of things, I take it maybe we're going to see these characters that are in the band. Why would you not introduce them to us before so we have a reason to care
There
and
you
get
go.
excited?
My point exactly.
Yes.
Disney, again, they would have been infinitely better with just retelling the story, rebuilding I mean, Princess and the Frog is a fine movie. Not one of my favorites, but I like it.
Right.
It's good. Like I said, one of the best villains that you find in Dr. Facilier. But
And I do like the music of
yeah,
it.
yes,
Mhm.
and overall, it's a very good story, well told. Why would you not tell that story again? Get people like, oh man, I forgot how good this was. What a great character. Tiana's great. You know, for the people who've like maybe migrated off of that, and then come back to it, and then you build up that, and then you build up the other series, and you do it in that direction, and then you could add more to it. So this is them going, we have a new story to tell you, and we're gonna make sure that you listen to it, and you have no choice. And like, but no, that's not how it works. It works
No.
the other way. You create the story first, let people pull into it if they do, and then build attraction to it, or build an add-on, or do any of that kind of thing. Not this way, and because people can't connect. Again, that's going to be the problem.
Yep.
People can't connect.
People can connect. Okay. Well, let's wrap up this cheery episode.
I will end it with this high note, or this
Oh.
note of positivity,
Yes.
of hope.
Oh,
We
hope.
always try to end it in hope.
Yes, a new hope.
What I hope is that they're paying attention. They're
Mhm.
looking at what isn't working already over here in Florida,
Yeah.
and they're going, okay, we already know ours is going to be a little bit different.
Yes.
And I hope that what the differences are between that one and ours are significant enough to be like, okay, cool.
Sure.
And again, we won't know until we write it. But that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
I'm going to give them the hope that our version's going to be better.
Yeah.
And we're going to have less to be like, hey, why do you do this? Why do you do that? And we just enjoy it.
Yep.
We've already said we're going to walk into it as with an open mind as possible.
Trying to.
And just try to and try to take it in. I'm going to try to. Like I said, I will not watch any video from ours when it's open.
I won't either.
So we're going to take it in.
Yep.
And we'll see where we go from there.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that will kind of change my mind on it is going to be writing it and creating certain memories. If I can have some memories associated with it that are really powerful, then that's going to change it a bit for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yep. Agreed. And I'm going to...
So, a lot of pressure on my kids and my husband.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I'm going to try to look at it with an open mind and just see how it is, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to... I can't help thinking that it would have been better as a Country Bears. But...
Yeah. Whenever you sent that to us in a message, and I completely agreed.
Okay. Well, one last news item, and this will be open the day this episode drops, which is June 24th, is that Din Tai Fun will open in downtown Disney. Soft opening on Monday, June 24th for Din Tai Fun. It looks like it's going to be very popular. It looks like it's a massive building. I looked at the menu for other locations, having never been there before. A lot of dumplings and things like that, and I would be very interested at some point in the future. Any day in the future is the future, but at some point on one of our trips, I would like to try it out just to see what's going on. Bao buns and dumplings and things like that. So looking forward to that. Okay, and again, episode 200 will be on Sunday, July 14th. I said July 13th, which is a Saturday, but this will be it'll be July 14th. Yeah, and we'll get some time set up for that so we can have you folks get involved. Also, please do send us a message using your phone, record something, and send it to info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. You can also find out more information on about us from our Instagram at Leaving Today Podcast. Also, our website if you want to get involved with buying T-shirts or being a LTP family member. Becky, where can people find more information about you?
You can find me on Instagram at Becky_Weimer, BECKY_WEIMER.
Okay, yes, I do encourage you to reach out to her. Because we want to flush out that going to Disneyland with large groups topic. So I think that would be kind of fun to talk about. Udi, where can people find out more information about you for the banter that's witty?
You can find me on my other show, The Mando Show. Like I mentioned earlier, we are currently reviewing The Acolyte. You can also find me on my socials, which are both Twixer and Instagram. Same handle, HAXGOALIE, Hacks Goalie. And any questions, comments, concerns, DM me. I respond to all of them.
Awesome. And for those first-time listeners out there, even though our new listeners from YouTube, we're not always negative like this. This happens to it just happened to work out this way this time. There was
just a lot of bad news.
A lot of bad news. I mean, and some of our opinions just really weren't on the brighter sides of things. And that's, that's
it
life.
Happens.
That is life. And we're not going to, but ultimately we want the parks to succeed. And looking forward to going there again. So anyways, thank you for sticking with us. We love you, adventures out there, and we will see you in the parks.
See you.
Bye. Cheers.
All right. Okay. Sorry. Now that I cracked it. No bed sheets.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because I like yelling at you.
You're funny. Ow, that hurt. Don't make me smile like that. Ow.
Kitty.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
I like it.